his impeachment for obstruction of justice. He appointed Amy Coney Barrett and 2 other very conservative Supreme Court justices to the Supreme Court, which helped in overturning Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade was the guarantee of a woman's right to abortion, if you didn't know. January 6th, the attempt to literally overthrow the U.S. government and install himself as a dictator. Christ, contain yourselves.
Do we even have to say anymore?
Do we have to say anymore? Also, I'm going to. This technically wasn't in his presidency, but it's going to be in his second presidency if he wins again. Project 2025. The conservative master plan to install Trump as a dictator. I mean reform the United States of America.
Yeah, isn't that getting rid of the term limits?
That's a completely different thing.
But that's also something that they want to do.
That's something that some people in his administration want to do, yes.
He is going right behind Reagan in the Reagan tier.
That nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job.
So, about last night, I was on high hopes for this year's election. I thought, hey, maybe Trump won't win again like he did in 2016. Maybe, just maybe, Kamala will pull this off.
1,000 votes. The current rate in terms of the votes remaining, it's not going to close us enough. That's going to be a clear win to Donald Trump. So he carries Pennsylvania. That's another one that he's flipped. When we go now to our overall results, we colour it in and we see that Pennsylvania is now going to be Donald Trump's going to win that presidential election, 267. So what's to come? How does he get there? Yes, there's the rest of the blue wall. There's Arizona. There's Nevada. He's a strong chance in all of those. But before that, we get to little Alaska. Yes, Alaska. It's obviously a Republican hold. We just want to make sure nothing strange is happening. We've already got 26% of the vote. We've got Donald Trump clearly ahead. This is just something the Republicans don't lose. So we also have a victory for Donald Trump in Alaska. What does that mean? The race to 270, well, that is now over. Donald Trump wins the state of Alaska. And as a result, Donald Trump is once again going to be the president of the United States.
Fuck. So clearly that didn't happen. And it's fucking stupid that this nation actually thought that Donald J. Trump was a fitting leader. I mean, seriously, Trump has shown multiple times that he is unprofessional, an absolute brain-dead idiot, xenophobic, among other things that would come to plague his political career. Not to mention the fact that this man was convicted of falsifying bank documents, but also
coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear, where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts.
Yeah, I am legitimately scared for the future of this nation. I mean, Trump has gone on record saying that he will be a dictator.
You're going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border, and we're drilling.
Not to mention that he also has plans to enact Project 2025, which is, in quotes, proposes that the entire federal bureaucracy including independent agencies such as the Department of Justice, be placed under direct presidential control, a controversial idea known as unitary executive theory. In practice, that would streamline decision-making, allowing the president to directly implement policies in a number of areas. The proposals also call for eliminating job protections for thousands of government employees who could then be replaced by political appointees. The document labels the FBI a bloated, arrogant, increasingly lawless organization. It calls for drastic overhauls of this and several other federal agencies, as well as the complete elimination of the Department of Education. The Republican Party platform has absorbed many, but not all, of these ideas. It includes a proposal to declassify government records, root out wrongdoers, and fire corrupt employees. It pledges to slash regulation of government spending and explicitly calls for the closing of the Department of Education, but it stops short of proposing a sweeping overhaul of federal agencies as outlined in Project 2025. If you didn't understand any of the slop that just came out of my mouth, what it basically said is that all, those little government agencies like the Department of Justice and whatnot, all of the decisions that would normally be made by appointees would just literally be made by Donald Trump himself. That doesn't sound Caesar-y at all. Yes, I guess Trump was right when he said that he was going to be a dictator. It also says that he wants to dissolve a shit ton of very important government agencies that I think this nation needs. Also, it wants to completely close and dissolve the Department of Education, which I don't think I need to say anything there. That is obviously a bad idea, and if Trump does Project 2025, if he enacts it, then that will be the most catastrophic failure in the history of our nation. And the topic of abortion that Project 2025 brings to the table, it actually does not call for a nationwide ban, surprisingly. All it wants to do is let the individual states vote for it, which, I still don't think that should really be up to the states. I think the laws should be allowed, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because a woman has the right to choose what they want to do with their body. It is not anyone else's decision, and it is especially not the decision of dumb politicians who act like they're smarter than people with PhDs who have gone to college, who went to school for years. It's honestly surprising that people believe Trump. I feel like so many people should have been able to see that dolt's idiocy.
As I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term.
But it seems like this nation fails everyone time and time again. And of course, the ever-popular position that Republicans, conservatives, and Trump alike have on immigration. In Project 2025, it of course calls for the increased funding of the wall on the US Mexico border, which was one of Trump's infamously failed policies in 2016. That man could literally never pass an infrastructure bill to save his fucking life. Like, oh my goodness. And of course, Trump is, even in the debate, has gone on record to say that if he were to become president, he would launch the largest deportation program in American history, which doesn't even sound good at all. Matter of fact, have you seen those videos of like a mother and her child? There's this one video that I saw of a mother and her child trying to sneak into the border without, proper paperwork, and their boat was sinking, and they had a crying infant in the boat with them, and they were screaming at the border patrol officer, just like saying, "Help me, help my child," and the border patrol officer did absolutely fucking nothing. Matter of fact, I will actually put that video up right now.
They made it.
¡Hey, ayúdame! ¡Ayúdame! ¡Que no me abandones aquí!
And that's public safety.
He's carrying a baby. He's
Yeah.
carrying a baby. The gentleman on the left.
¡Ayúdame!
Yeah, it's insanely fucked up. Also, that problem might get even worse because Trump said that he wanted to combine all of the government agencies, said that the fucking US military would be involved, and wanted to combine them into a much larger border patrol force, which is not needed. It is never something that will be needed in this country, ever. You can fucking mark my words and put them on my gravestone, because I guarantee that that statement is true. Holy. That was a mouthful. But yeah, in short, Trump's next term will be bad. I mean, Kamala may not have even been the best candidate for president, but dear God, it would have been better than what we got. Because, let me remind you, this could all be possible because Trump won the election. Also, forgot to mention this, but Trump also flat out lies about crime that goes on in the states, mainly Ohio. For example,
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
yeah, like, Jesus, I don't know how almost 70 million people voted for this guy. I mean, maybe. Like, Trump in 2016 was like, what would happen if he won the presidency? Like, how bad would it be? But now, we do know how bad it could be and will be, and it will not be good. Jesus. Anyway, time to end this for now. If you guys want a part 2, let me know. Signing off. Man, Australia is looking like a real nice place to live. Man, I better pack my bags and get the fuck out of this country.